We're currently down in Disneyland with Abu, Teft, Mara, Danny, Utka, and Grover. And we're just seeing how they all orientating themselves and getting used to the whole place. Sometimes we get asked, why is it called Disneyland? Well, not that I've ever been to Disneyland myself, but it just sounded to be a place where little youngsters can enjoy themselves, feel free, be happy, and sort of just enjoy life. And we couldn't think of a better name for a little place where these monkeys have to all come together after the loss they've had in their lives, find themselves again, and also find new friends, make new bonds, and really have a whole new beginning. So it sounded like something happy and something appropriate for these little guys, and so that's what was called Disneyland. Little inquisitive Mara has found some zip and trying to see how she can undo it, and that is also the part of the whole thing of Disneyland, is finding new little things, not really zips, but hopefully little bugs and beetles and grasses and seeds and interesting little things to discover and keep them interested, which is very, very important and important to their growth, as well as playing with each other. So that's how they sort of find out their ranking and everything, which I have told everyone before. It's very important how they play and watching how they play. So we spend a lot of time in Disneyland. Disneyland is not just about learning how to drink from the milk cage, although that's a very, very important aspect of it. But it's also seeing how you form bonds with others and get on with the other monkeys, and seeing what your dominance is going to be, if you're very assertive or not, or very passive. And all this can help with the decision of where we're going to place this little one later on. In the beginning stages, it's not easy to see who goes and takes food first, and it's a little free for all, which is something they're going to have to slowly learn, because naturally in the troop, these little guys can't just go and jump into a plate and take food like that. They've got to learn to take their turn, and the place of course, whoever their mother's ranking is, they'll have to eat accordingly, according to her ranking.
Here we have Utku and Taft. Utku on the right and Taft on the left. Currently trying to steal Imogen's keys.
Danny, Abu, Mara. So it's pretty obvious that Disneyland is a time where they run around and investigate everything, and of course get a lot of sleep. So sleeping plays a big part as well, just to make sure the little guys relax. And some of them sleep in the most amazing positions. They get so comfortable and feel so safe in this environment that they can pretty much sleep anywhere. But building up that trust is very, very important, and being able to feel comfortable and safe in your environment is one of the things that helps these little guys come right very, very quickly. But of course you always get that little one that doesn't want to sleep and just wants to keep everybody on their toes and running around chasing and jumping on everybody.
Abu and Mara drinking, and Taft causing chaos in the back.
It sounds like they're just waiting for the Goliath introcage to be prepped, and Sophie and Grover will be moving over there shortly, and hopefully they'll be moving, finding their foster moms a little bit later. You can see how well they're getting on there. I don't know about still trying to get hold of Sophie's ear, but Yeah, they're all basically ready. It's nice. Most of them have started drinking okay. We're very happy with the way they're getting the milk out of the feeding cage. And after they've mastered that, it's we've got to try and move them on as quickly as possible. So you don't want to keep them in one area too long. As soon as they've learned or mastered this feeding cage and able to go in and out on their own and basically drink their milk on their own, then it's time to move along onto stage 2. So it's all those factors that are going to depict which enclosure one's going to go in, because we could have got a monkey or a little orphan in fairly early, but of course they don't learn how to drink and things like that till a much later stage. So of course they won't go in with everyone. So it's sort of, well, let's say nature sorts kind of sorts out who's going to go where as well. It's not just fully our decision. It also depends on their development and how quickly they develop in each area. Well, sometimes Valentine's Day just spreads to the little monkeys as well. What can you do?
So,
Sometimes it's the little expression on their faces when they notice other or bigger monkeys out there.
You're not so full of popping. No, don't eat this.
Utku and Mara playing in Disneyland. Oh. And there is Steph.
It's unfortunately at this age that people think these little guys will make fantastic pets. But what one doesn't realize is they don't stay this size for very long. This is a very, very short period of time in their lives. You probably only got the first 3 months, and then they start growing up and becoming a lot independent and don't want to be hugged and held and mollycoddled the whole time. So it's a very, very short period of time that people see them as this cute little animal, and then of course it grows up, and that's where all the trouble starts and terrible life happens for this little monkey. Well, now and again we've always got to wash these little ones because they do get full of feces and all kinds of things. Yeah, we've got little Mara popping over and saying, "Oh, it's about time you had a bath," and just seeing how things are going. So she's very inquisitive there. But yes, it is very important to give them a little bit of a wash now and again. It's not something one does often because, as I say, they do get special oils and things like this on their fur that protects them from the weather and things like this. And you don't want to keep on washing them to there's like Mara trying to distract everybody from the bathing and everything, trying to get somebody's little bag and open it up to see what's going on inside there. But yeah, as I say, if you wash them, you start destroying that special oils that these animals actually have to protect them, which isn't good. But unfortunately, because we keep them in a little group, or a lot of them together, in this case there's 5 or 6, especially in the sleeping cage, they have to get bathed now and again just because they do get covered in all kinds of things. I think they're taking turns in seeing who's bathing who and who shouldn't be bathed. But they were both very, very well behaved. This is Mara, I think, getting her little turn here. Danny's looking all fluffy and clean and all happy there. So yes, at least they're going to feel all bright and clean, and all the stickiness from whatever they've eaten, papayas and stuff like this, is gone. Yeah, we've got little Mara's actually discovered a little bug that she's trying to catch and chase around, but of course the little hands aren't so good at gripping this little thing. And this is sometimes where they get themselves into trouble, because some of these little bugs have got a little poison spray. Not this one in particular, but they don't always taste so good. And sometimes it's quite funny when you see them get it in their mouth and try and get it out as quickly as they can.
Hello, Danny.
Well, this is Neverland, where everything normally begins for these little ones. So it is the first place that they normally come to for everyone, just to check them out and see that they're all healthy and that there's no problems, and starting the initial feeds and that. Neverland was actually named by a volunteer. It has got a little bit of a meaning because it is like a kind of a fairy tale. So it's, a whole new adventure of these little guys' lives are starting all over again. They don't really know what to expect, but it is like a whole dream come true, I suppose, in a way that they've been given the second chance, and there's so many people out there supporting them and make sure that they're going to do well and get a second chance in their little lives.
Yeah, long nose and yeah.
Here's a boo. Abu's friends, Josephine, Shani and Winona, down at Skunky with foster mums, so they'll be moving to the new Skunky cage at some point. Abu and Teft. There's Teft there, having a little play. Grover.
Okay. Prefer cucumber.
Don't want them to fall off. Sophie's having a drink from the feeding cage.
Sophia's drink, but it's Robert when it's
Yeah,
children.
yeah.
But Grover did chug down 30 mils before.
Oh, okay.
Hi Luna, tell us about the babies that are left in Neverland.
Rightio, so we have in here Teft, Abu, Sophie and Grover. Sophie and Grover are the two newest ones, and Abu and Teft have been in here for a little while, but their mates Shaney, Winona and Josephine have just moved to a new intra cage. This is Teft and Abu. Teft is very, very clingy. I don't know if you guys remember Fudge. Fudge was the same, and they just need a little extra attention and love. But we do try and separate them as much as possible, just so they can learn to cling onto their mums and not each other.
Okay, and who's this?
Alrighty, this is little Sophie. Well, not so little. She's quite big. Unfortunately, she was kept as a pet, so she was fed dairy milk, which is why she's a lot bigger and stockier than she should be. But she's adapting quite well to the new milk, and she's going in and out of the feeding cage with no problem. And this is Mr. Grover here. He's also quite a big boy. He was in an accident, a car accident, before he got here, so he's got a little wound on his lip, which we're just letting heal naturally. He's struggling a little bit more to come in and out of the feeding cage, but he's doing a lot better, and with a bit of encouragement, he does go in eventually.
Abu on the left and Teft on the right, cuddling.
Yeah.
Sophie coming to join.
And they've all been playing really well together as well, which is good. Especially Abu, Grover and Sophie. They've been playing a lot and they like to cuddle up together as well. Teft, I'd say, is just very, very attached to Abu, so he's struggling a little bit more, but he still plays with the rest of them. The rest of them.
So tonight I have the babies. So as you can see, there's actually 4 crates here with 7 babies, and this is what the night shift is about. So now that I've got the milk made, I'm gonna just pour the milk, 60 ml each, into these pet ag bottles. And now that we have all of the bottles made with 60 ml milk, and the Royal Canine here has 30 ml, now we can actually start giving the milk to the babies for the 7 PM feed. So we do try and feed them through the bars so they can get used to that. So there we go. Tara is now getting fed his 60 ml milk. Next up is Sophie and Grover. So I've already checked. This is Grover here at the top, and then Sophie is just at the bottom there. So let's see if we can try and feed them next. And I'll just start off with Sophie, so let's see if she drinks. There we go. Our last group for this 7 o'clock feed is Abu, Teft and Mara. Oh dear. Don't have that many hands, so I'm going to have to put the camera down for now. All babies are pretty sleepy right now. Mara's the only one drinking at the moment, but I've lined up the bottles like this in the meantime, so hopefully if Abu and Teft manage it, if they're not too tired, they can, their bottles are basically aligned for them. You can see that Mara is definitely enjoying her milk at the moment, and it looks like little Teft is actually falling back asleep, so and Abu at the back over there. Okay, we've got Teft drinking now on the left, and it's just Abu. It looks like Yeah, there we go. Looks like Mara's had her feed. So she's probably just taking a little break now. Right, looks like Mara's finished, so I'm going to remove her bottle now. Right, so these little guys have done pretty well, so I'm just going to put their little food bowl in there for now. And yeah, it should be fun. There we go. Okay, so now once all the babies have been fed, we have to document everything that we do and anything that happens during this time. Alright, it's 6 o'clock in the morning and it's time for the feeding now for everybody again. I think Taro inside here is awake and Danny's screaming his head off again. So yeah, we're just going to get started now with the feeding. Basically the same process as last night.
So just a quick check-in of those at our H&B enclosure and just seeing how they're getting on with the foster moms and with everybody else, but it looks like they're all doing pretty well.
Mara also wants to be groomed. And fudge. You don't want to go there, Fudge, anymore? No? What did you find, Mara?
Well, a lot of observations of the little ones and seeing how they look and trying to recognize them, which is very, very important. I hope all of you that have been watching can now tell them apart, and as they go follow on into their integration, that makes it a lot more enjoyable for you to try and recognize them as their little faces change. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for all your contributions. It's really appreciated, and I look forward to seeing all of you next week at the same time. Thank you.